What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Snowpiercer episode 2 review and breakdown. If you're in the UK, it's now on Netflix, so welcome aboard. Yeah, no pun intended there. We will be discussing the episode and what is going on with the murders, and is Melanie really Mr. Wilford? If you're new, then please do consider subscribing with notifications on and drop a like on the video if you did enjoy it. So with that out of the way, let's dive in. The episode starts off with the immediate consequences of the riot and attempted revolution last episode. They were destined to fail, and in the movie, Wilford allowed people to actually fail with these, and he actually used it as some sort of population control. The tailies are once again addressed and a brutal capital punishment is issued, and I thought they were actually going to cut her arm off for some reason, which absolutely made me wince, but they simply froze her arm, which is still very, very gruesome, and this is how they control people here in the tale. Andre must have known what would happen here, and he has successfully planted some of the strongest willed and best fighters from the tale and actually put them in the middle of the privileged class by letting them sleep. And they can easily be taken off of ice later in the season to be used for his own gain, and he is more of a cerebral character than his movie counterpart, planning the revolution slowly and surely. We see how the rich have actually reacted to the subdued rebellion, and the family of the Janis Joplin wannabe has an armed guard, and he looks like a B-Tech version of Juice from Sons of Anarchy. One thing that was really weird is as Melanie actually comes out of the engineering car, which he seems to have a really good relationship with. Part of me thinks that she was actually uplifted from engineering, as we saw last episode. She was wearing an MIT hoodie. Well, she actually had her Wilford badge on her lapel that was upside down. The M turned into a W and vice versa. So when she went from engineering to the buffet car, she actually sort of turned into Mr. Wilford there before it was actually rearranged by her lackey. Now, throughout the episode, we hear of Wilf being spoken about in the third person a lot. So it's anyone's guess as to where he is and if she actually killed him and replaced him. Maybe she just put him to sleep there, as those big sleep drawers have been a big part of this episode and the last episode as well. Now, Andre connects with his ex-fiancée once more, and they connect in another way there. We find from a backstory that they did have a full relationship, and they seem to be living the true life there in the meditation car. And to be honest, I found this car to be a bit weird. I didn't really like any of this scene, to be honest. I didn't like the fact that he's reconnecting with his ex in the middle of him, going through a whole investigation for murder, and it really fell flat, and it was the dud part of this episode. But the episode was really strong, and it was a strong follow-up on last week as a whole. Maybe you liked it, let me know down in the comments. I did like how Andre had to live with the repercussions of his group killing security officers, and it really does show the two sides to the ticketed and non-ticketed passengers. The torture and cannibal part of the episode progressed a lot, obviously, this episode, and it is surmised that, well, the dead body was actually put and used the meat on the train, and it was also tortured. It was also being used in the cars where the noodles are being made. Funnily enough, those noodles were actually what the Janis Joplin lookalike mentioned she wanted last week. Eek. Now, cannibalism was actually rife in the tale, as Andre said, but in the front it shouldn't be, as we see livestock who are now no more. Unfortunately, that was a really, really sad scene. We're unsure whether this will actually lead to Beth and Andre, and they are getting together, and not getting together in a physical sense, but they are getting on very, very well. So I'm not sure if they will team up in the future to kind of unite the front and the back, but if this is a true mystery and not everything they know in the front is true, then perhaps she will turn sides and try and help him in some way. I really did like the scenes where the avalanche causes problems, but I can't help but think that the window should have been a bit more secure there, or there should have been blast doors or something there to actually stop a little bit of a knife or whatever that was that went into it from actually cracking it. Now, interestingly, in the aftermath, we see suits which allow the wearer to withstand the outside Ice Age conditions. I feel this is very important, as there was a scene in the movie that showed people believe a rumour that they can live outside of the train only for them to actually freeze. Now, I'm not sure if they will actually be carrying on with this, but if it is a show that will exist over multiple seasons, there's 1,000 cars, but at some point they will need to have a story where they actually get off of the train, and that would be pretty fun. If we have the avalanche setting up everything that's going on in the future, and they may actually have to stop, then I'm going to be excited to see that maybe this isn't actually true, that everyone is dead in the Ice Age, and maybe, like the movie, it is starting to actually warm up. So this episode has set up a lot for the upcoming season and is moving beyond the movie, which I really like. And it does actually seem to be having a different story, which, why would you want the same story? Yeah, let me know in the comments if you like the diverging here. Andre is also working on a guide for the train and allows it to be given to the tailies, so he is 100% playing both sides. This information information is key to a revolution, which is much needed on the train there. And with the cannibalism and all the torture and the mystery of MELANIE, well, there is also unrest at the front of the train as well. There was also a big reveal that Andre has some big information, that the torture was created to get some information on MELANIE and such forth. And the front of the train, this is so much of a juicy mystery, and I'm glad that the murder was actually almost finished being investigated so it can move on to the future of this season. Andre is obviously now under risk of being put away, and it's curious to see what will happen next, as she knows he is onto her, and if he's allowed to remain in the front, then he'll keep pulling on the thread until it actually completely unravels. And not only does she do some sketchy stuff to subdue the tail, but if she is living a lie deceiving the rich, and that is actually some real trouble for her, because those are the people who actually technically matter on the train. Overall, I liked the episode, and it was a lot stronger than the first episode, and it is a really good season so far. So drop a like down below, and if you want me to carry on doing these videos each week, let me know in the comments down below, and I really love hearing what you think. Do drop a like if you enjoyed, and do subscribe with notifications on if you want more. But that's it for the video, and I'll see you soon. We'll have a video on The Wretched tomorrow, so check that out tomorrow, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.